Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's reading, we're doing how others imagine you, or um what do others imagine about you, like basically what in their mind their assumptions are about you. So we have here three beautiful piles. Pile number one with the red candle, pile number two with the yellow candle, and pile number three with the white candle. Please pause the video if needed. Let's go. So for the viewers that picked pile number one with the red candle, what do others imagine about you? And I already heard, like, people think that you're like very sexual. Like, they imagine you to be like someone that, as soon as you get home, you're taking off your clothes and just ready for action. There's like a big sexual energy that's coming here. You might be like a really big sex symbol. And listen, I don't care your gender or any of that. You yourself, you portray like this sexual aura that even men or women or non-binary kind of like, you kind of get their panties wet. You kind of make them wet. You kind of, you know what I mean? Like, there's something about the thought of you that kind of gives people butterflies. And people just gotta, like, imagine themselves doing it with you. I know. Like, I just feel here, like, just like very, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just like a sexual exotic energy. You could be a fire sign watching this, but yeah, it's just like a lot of sexual stuff coming for this pile, and people just imagining themselves in bed with you. Like, I'm just picturing that, or like the handcuffs and the and how they tie their hands, or like to like the headboard. You guys get it. It's just like all that freaky shit. Like, please be 18 years old if you're watching, because like I just can't control what comes in these readings. But yeah, like, so let's get into the reading real quick. Let's see, what cards do we get today for what do others imagine about you. Well, others imagine that you have like a very busy mind for some reason. Or like you have a busy mind, or like you feel guilty about something. People kind of like imagine you to feel guilty because maybe you reject a lot of people, or you would reject a lot of lovers, or a lot of dates, or a lot of people. But honestly, people feel like you are maybe feeling guilty, or like you have a lot of people on your mind. Like, that's what people think about you, or like they imagine, not think, because that's a different reading. But they kind of like just assume that you're someone with a busy mind, or like a busy plate, or you have a lot of offers. People also imagine that you're really not that deep of a person. Like, you could be deep. Like, you could be someone that enjoys deep conversations. You could be actually very intellectual. But people, whoa, what the hell is that? Okay, I just saw like a weird light. Anyways, people, imagine you to be somebody very superficial. And I say this because maybe it's because of your looks, maybe because of your sexuality. People just think that, you're surface level babes. Like, there's nothing deep about you. It's like, I don't like to use this reference because I really don't agree with it. But it's like when people say like that all blondes are like dumb, or stuff like that. Like, I don't agree with that term, of course. But it's like, with the way you look and your aura, it's like you kind of give that. You kind of give the vibe that there's really nothing deep about you. Like, you're just hot. Like, you're just surface level. Like, that's it. Like, you got nothing to talk about. Like, you probably never been through anything. That's what people imagine. That you probably never been through anything. That, everything has just been always handed to you. Now the pentacles, because You're just someone that everybody wants to keep around, or people like, or people want, or people want to date, people want to marry. People just want to get to know. People, just want to be around. Let's see here. What do others imagine about you? Again, oh my god. We got the chariot in the reverse, the devil upright, and then the five of swords in the reverse. And it makes pretty much a lot of sense to what I was saying, you know what I mean? People imagine you to be someone that doesn't have deep connections with other people, friends. You just don't really find yourself having meaningful connections. People imagine that a lot of people around you that just don't really know you. People imagine that you just use your looks for your success, or like you use your sexuality or your body for some sort of success, or to get one on over on people, or to date other people, to maybe help your friends, to maybe get pretty privilege here. So others imagine you to be someone very manipulative and even schemeful because of your looks. They don't think, they don't imagine you to be a bad person, but they imagine you as someone that uses your looks as an advantage, or uses your looks for like some sort of like appeal, or for others to agree with you, or for you to get jobs easily. So yeah, like people just imagine like your life has just always been free flowing, chariot in reverse. Like everything's just, welcoming you with open arms, like just warming and help. So yeah, this is I'm really sorry if you got this, pal, because I feel like people overlook your best qualities as a person, and I just feel like they just put a stamp on, they're they're pretty good looking, and that's enough to survive in this type of world. But behind all of that, I see you, pal number one. I see a very kind-hearted individual, very sensitive, but not naive. Okay, I feel like that's one thing that maybe people probably thought you were back in the day, a fool or a naive or like a dummy. But I think you're far from that. I think your looks is like one part of the full package you have to offer. So, you know. So let's see here more cards on what others imagine about you. Let's see what others imagine about my pal number one. What others imagine about my pal number one. People imagine you not to take anybody serious. Um, or they imagine you to be someone lonely because maybe you don't have a lot of friends, or you don't have a lot of people that surround you. So, they might imagine that you are lonely. And they could imagine that it's parts of you that not a lot of people know about, or they don't know themselves. So I feel like when others do imagine about you, they do imagine about who you really are. I don't think a lot of people that do have you in their mind really know you on a deeper level like that. We have here the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Yeah, like there's just nothing that these people can really picture you out to be. I think this group is mostly assumptions. They do imagine, someone in there to be, alike or compassionate. But I just guess that maybe you're someone that doesn't really let people see that, because others don't imagine correctly about you. Something about people don't imagine the correct things about you. I think it's more the surface level things. I definitely think there's some sort of mystery in this group, but not really. You know what I mean? It's like a balance. I feel like you do you do show who you are, but I feel like it's harder to get inside who you are. Okay, but overall, I definitely see a lot of sexual energy here. I feel like a lot of people imagine you to be someone you're not because of your looks, and they might make a lot of assumptions, or they might imagine you to be a certain way, maybe cocky, or, you know, prudent, or just way too into yourself. Let's get one more last cards here so I don't make the wrong assumption. Yeah, and I just said wrong assumption. It's like, a lot of people got the wrong idea of you. Let's see here. How do others imagine my pile number one? Yeah, because they don't imagine you to be that kind. Look, we have here the Five of Swords. Okay, the other one was the Seven of Swords. My bad, I confused it. But we have here the Five of Swords in reverse with the Six of Cups in the reverse, and then the Justice in reverse. People, they imagine you to be someone not as kind, not as giving, someone that thinks about themselves, and someone that, likes to take justice into their own hands. Maybe, you're known to speak out, you're known for clapping back, or being rude, or matching people's energies. And so, yeah, people might imagine you to be someone a little hasty, maybe a little cocky, and a little hostile. All right. But overall, someone very independent, and someone that got their game got going on. Like, you got your game. You walk alone. I don't think people imagine you to be someone that is not a leader. Like, it's always the cocky, the leader, the one that thinks they're the shit. That's you, pile number one. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for clicking on my reading. Bye, guys. So for my viewers that picked pile number two with the yellow candle, let's find out, what do others imagine about you? And I already got, like, they imagine you going to bed and, like, just getting these influx of ideas, or, like, they imagine you to be out of this world just because there's something about you that speaks truth, or is something about your creativity, how you come up with, like, great ideas, great sense of style, just everything that a lot of people might find it hard to figure out, put together. It's like you easily do it. There's something about you that's very artistic, or very, like, not like others. Your authenticity, yeah, people imagine that you're someone very confident, someone that knows themselves a lot, someone that's comfortable. I feel like people also imagine you to be someone that is very polite in the way that they express themselves and they speak to others as well. So they imagine you to be someone that got their shit together, but also humble. You know what I mean? People imagine you to be someone that maybe you were humbled back in the day. That's why you know how to act. There's something about a lot of maturity here, or a lot of wisdom, but doesn't look like it. So they imagine that you probably went through some shit to be who you are. But let's get into the cards first. Let's see here. What do others imagine about my pile number two? What do others imagine? Oh man, what can I say? We have here wisdom as light as a feather in the reverse. We got Orca Magic, Akashic Libraries open in the reverse. And you must choose a prey with Alice in a Sea of Tears in reverse. Okay, so as I was saying, people imagine you to be someone very different than who you really are. And I just feel like they imagine that you had to go through a lot to be who you are, because there's no way that someone like you is not as snobby or mean or rude. You have a really good reputation. That's all I have to say here for pile number two. You have a good reputation amongst a lot of people. Okay, I feel like this is the group where people. Some people might hate you, but more love you, and that's more significant and important. And yeah, you know, I think people just imagine that through that perfection, there has to be something broken inside. So people imagine you to maybe be someone that's sad inside, or someone that is going through addictions or depressions. But people don't get to see that. Okay? So, not gonna lie, people imagine you to be someone that lives a double life, someone that shows perfection, but probably is crying themselves to sleep. Um, I say this to say that it's very outstanding, your persona, the way you care, and the way you are empathetic towards others. This is an individual that can sit in a room and let other people shine. This is someone in the room that can support and clap for others. You are someone that is showing to be kinder than expected. Okay? Um just because you to a lot of people are perfection. Your mind, your body, your soul, your beliefs, your artistic, you know, things, it speaks perfection to a lot of people. And so they imagine you to have something, a issue. Because, we have a good saying that says not everyone's perfect. And your perfection is always questionable because it's just too good. And I don't mean to gas you guys up here in no way, but energies doesn't lie. You have a good reputation. You have a lot of people that like you, that want to be like you, people that want to learn from you, and also people that are mesmerized when they first meet you because they can never expect you to be who you are. Let's see here. What do others imagine about my pile number two? So we have here, the time has come now, the time to act is now. Then we have here the black cat in reverse, lost magic, atonement in reverse. We have here, you are unlike anyone else. And then we have here, pose, braves, flight. So people imagine you to be very action oriented. People imagine you to be someone of your word. Like when you say something, you're up to it. You're down for it. People also imagine you to be aware of your difference and your creativity and how good looking you are and how good you got it. Like people imagine you to be aware of it. Okay? Maybe because of your bravery, maybe because of the way you speak, the way that you walk. It's just there's a big expression of confidence and that I know myself. Okay? Um this is the group that really doesn't sweat around new people, old people, exes, enemies. You are someone that can completely knock the boots off of someone in regards to personality or even how to act. I think you'll beat anyone with your nonchalantness. People imagine you to be someone very organized, very committed, and very responsible. Again, part number two, I have nothing bad to say about this group overall. Like, people just imagine you to be someone better than them. And that's, I don't want people out here, thinking other people are, but if that does happen though. But if you find yourself, seeing someone and you feel like they're better than you or not, take what they have that you don't as inspiration always. That's like my biggest hint of, how to not be jealous of some people. Because some people are going to be better than some people. And it's all about your personal opinion because, what you might think is perfect to them might be, the start of the race or whatever. People imagine you to be a witch or a tarot reader or someone that's very in tune with spirituality. That's for some, not all. People always imagine you to be someone that keeps your plans to yourself. Like you might be the person that travels and doesn't tell anybody when they're leaving. You could be the person that, you don't tell people your family problems, or you're someone that just you keep a great balance of how much people know about you and how much you want them to know. Let's see here. What do others imagine about my power too? Also, people imagine you to be very hard on yourself or strict with yourself. We have here, an elder will teach you in reverse. My life is sweet and now you're independent and free. A grown person is coming out for this group. A grown or older or wiser individual is coming out for this person. For you, Paul, too. It's looking like people imagine that you had went through a lot, maybe with an older figure, or you have an older partner that keeps you in check, or um, you know, organized or having everything together. But overall, people imagine your life to be sweet. See, my life is sweet. People imagine you to have a really good life, to have it all together, have more than them, and be more than them, to be honest. This is like a very admirable group, Polymer 2. When people, imagine about you, they always imagine the best of the best. They always imagine um, success, beauty. They imagine the best outcomes because if it could happen for you, it could happen for them. And yeah, I feel like overall, I'm just going to be repeating myself because look, now you're independent and free. It's like, they just imagine someone that got it all together, that's very independent, that a lot of people like, and that a lot of people want to be like. And, some people might just ask themselves, will pile number 2 wear this? Would pile number 2 say yes to this? Will pile number 2 do that? You're like a lot of people's examples. I wouldn't be surprised if you're a content creator or, you're surrounded by younger people or, yeah, you know a lot of people and a lot of people know your growth and who you are. So that's all that I'm getting here. Thank you so much for clicking on this reading. Bye, guys. So for my viewers that picked pile number 3 with the white candle, let's find out, what do others imagine about you? Ooh. People can imagine that you live a very boring life. Maybe something that's very pure about you. Like maybe, you don't drink or you're vegetarian or you just have like this holistic lifestyle. Like you could be a Reiki healer or like a yoga teacher, something like that. But I see like a lot of herbal medicine. I see someone that likes to go to bed at 10. So people might imagine you to be someone with a very simple and maybe not as exciting life. Okay, but let's see what I get. Okay. We have expectations in the reverse, duty in the reverse, liberation in the reverse, and enchantment in the reverse. Okay. So, you know, you have a very bubbly personality. You can be someone funny. You can be someone that's very expressive with their words and loves to tell stories. But overall, this talkative nature that you have, pile number three, it doesn't back up your life. So, it's like you talk it, but you don't walk it. Like a lot of you guys, people imagine you to be someone that is just aloof and away and likes to, be alone and be in their room or be in their own energy, or rather just stay home and watch movies. You're not someone very outgoing like you express yourself to be. And people imagine you to be someone that lives under a lot of restrictions, or you live around like under a very strict marriage or dress code or religion. There's something very strict about you around your world. People imagine you to, not actually be that exciting the way you come out as. All right. And it could just be that you have a beautiful personality, but, people like to judge a book by its cover. So people might think, just because you have this amazing personality, you are an extrovert, you like to go outside, you like to go for drinks, you are around, but it can be quite the opposite. You can be someone that's a great communicator, but you love being alone, or you love your space, and you love the comfort of your home. Like you can be someone that prefers to make your home your temple, like comfortable, so you never have to leave. So, people just imagine you to be someone with a very simple life, someone that doesn't require much, and someone that doesn't live up to other people's expectations. Okay, when people meet you, they expect you to be, their new fun buddy, or their new drinking buddy, or like a travel buddy, or whatever they might think you'll be. But they quickly realize that you're not someone that fits their ideals or their expectations. You always fall out of the expectations. You're like the opposite of what people always imagine you to be. And that's what people are imagining, that, they've been fooled through your persona. Not saying you're a bad person. I don't think anybody here is imagining you to be a bad person. They're just imagining you to be someone that you might not really be. Um, in a way where you are very expressive, but the true you is probably very quiet. Okay? I get like a big silence. You enjoy silence. You can be someone that you hang out with people and you guys could be in silence. But, to others, might be a bit surprising, and they imagine you to be someone, maybe confusing, or not judge a book by its cover. That's what they also might think. But overall, others imagine you to be very smart, someone very quick on their feet, someone with a good tongue as well. Let's see here. What do others imagine about my pal? Promises in the reverse, we have taboos, jealousy in the reverse, and choice. So others imagine you to have like this easygoing life as well. Maybe you don't have a hard job, or you don't have any kids, but there's something about you that entails like a really smooth sailing life. Promises in the reverse, others might imagine you to be someone that just didn't fit what they thought you were going to fit. So people are constantly imagining about how you probably bamboozled them. Taboos here. People also imagine you to live a very traditional or non-traditional life. Okay, so traditional meaning maybe you follow certain religious beliefs, and non-traditional maybe you live like a very out of the place, out of this place type of life. So it could be like this. Listen, you can be someone that has an OnlyFans. This is an example. So you could be someone that has an OnlyFans, but when people meet you in person, you might dress very modest, or you might not be flirtatious at all, or whatnot. So it's like whatever you do entails the opposite of what you are. And that's what people are imagining. That's crazy, you know, the way you're able to fool others. We have jealousy in reverse. People always imagine how maybe in the beginning they were jealous of you, but then they realize that they shouldn't, because your life is not what it seems when you are expressive. Okay? I think the fact that you have another side to you is what makes people feel like you're more down to earth. Okay? Like you have a true identity. Like you don't make your situations make you who you are. Like if you're someone that stays home all day, people might think that you're an introvert or you can't talk to people. But it's like the opposite. You know what I mean? So then we have your choice. So, people always are imagining how you live your life like it's your own choice. Like you don't really live for other people. And I feel like that's what people kind of respect about you. That you kind of don't care what others expect of you, or how others would like to see you live or be or marry or whatnot. Like even if you go against the grain, people kind of respect you for it. And if you're more traditional, people also respect you for it. Let's see here. It's so crazy. We have here words. Then we have here balance in the reverse, purity in the reverse, and then loyalty in the reverse. So people imagine you to be someone that has really powerful words, but there's like an imbalance with your words and who you are as a person. So people also imagine you to be someone that gives advice but probably doesn't take it for themselves, or you give advice but you kind of don't relate to anything. And somehow you got good advice, but it's like through your life, like it's really hard to see that. People also imagine how in the beginning they probably thought that you didn't have good intentions. Like there was some sort of lack with you. I think it's more your absence. So people are constantly imagining how you feel about them just because you're always absent, or like there's like a disappearance that happens with you. So it kind of catches people off guard how, absent you are, but then how, involved you become once you're around. All right? So you might have people thinking a little bit, about like not being so sure about you. I feel like you show love through your words, pile number 3. And, when people don't hear and see of you, I think it's more of you, taking a step back, letting others live their life. I feel like the real ones, they would understand this. The ones that are not really meant for you, they will take your absence as an attack or very defensive. But, through your absence, you've met like a great people. You have, people have seen your true intentions, so that's good. So it's always the ones that last, it's not the ones that fade. But overall, pile number 3, people imagine you to be someone that really gives good advice and someone that lives life on their own terms, regardless of ideals or values. So that's all that I'm getting here. Thank you so much for clicking on this reading. Bye, guys.